Hey, Trinity, good evening, girl. Good evening, good evening, good evening. So, I decided to allow this to be an open, general message for those who need to receive it. In other words, if you feel led here, then this message may be for you. Okay? So, by all means, take what resonate, leave the rest. Everyone may or may not understand. For those who do understand, then I send you blessings. Okay? All right. So, woo, let's get head on and get into your reading, shall we? Give me a second. But the first message that I was receiving actually, because I kept hearing the song. Hey, Julissa, how you doing, girl? I kept hearing the first message by my girl Stephanie Mills, Silver Shadow. Right? Y'all remember that old tune? If you old school, some of you may not be familiar. You may not even have an idea who Stephanie Mills is. Okay, Stephanie Mills. You know she's a queen, right? She's a legend. She was here from the beginning. You know, Motown. You understand what I'm saying? We be going back. So there was a song that Stephanie Mills wrote back in the day called Silver Shadow. Y'all remember that joint? Mm? How did it go? You know, Silver Shadow. You know what I'm saying? So, the message that I got here, if you take notice of uh, the title of this video is called Shadow Clearance Concealment. Okay? So, what comes to mind when you read that title, Shadow, Clarence, Concealment, right? We're going to start there, okay? For those of you who don't understand, we're going to come from the witch's wisdom, okay? Shadow, scrying mirror. So when you see this card here, the scrying mirror, shadow, and then you see this card here, broomstick clearance. And then you see this card here, cloak concealment. For those who know, you know. All right. So this was actually the first card that came out, right? Concealment, cloak concealment. And I was like, okay. I felt like spirit was talking to me, you know? Because by this being the first card that comes out, basically what this is saying that is the time has come from you. The time has come for you to come out of hiding and be proud of who you are. You know, be proud of who you are. Stop hiding your true self. Stop hiding your true identity. Okay? Because the time has come for you to face your shadow self. Some people have a fear of the dark side of themselves. But like the old saying goes, you know, you need to have a little bit of both, but you need to know the difference between the darkness and the light. But without darkness, there is no light. And without light, there's no darkness. Right? And it tells you that when it comes to using the scrying mirror, it gives you the definition and the meaning of how to use the scrying mirror, right? For some, it could be what some old fashioned people would say back in the day, grab you some volcano glass. If you don't have volcano glass, then grab you some protection black tourmaline. Okay? And with this black tourmaline, like for example, what I have on right now around my neck. Alright, let me see if I can get it off. I may not even be able to pull it off right now. But let me see. Let me see if it's gonna allow me to pull it off. Hold on, you guys. Okay. Alright. So as I was saying, alright, let's say this is your volcano glass, your black protection tourmaline, right? And you choose to use a scrying mirror. Like this right here is one of my protection necklaces, right? And I'm sitting here and I'm talking to you about my protection black tourmaline, right? Your protection crystal, right? You see, I have that same crystal, but then I also have that evil eye, but then I also have that silver back, right? I have to be proud of who I am, right? When it comes to me using my pedicle, right? Now, many of you may not even have an idea what this is. That's okay. This right here is my witch's jewel, okay? For those of you who know, you know, right? So when you see that silver back and you see this evil eye, right? When it comes to knowing how to protect yourself, right? And a lot of times I always tell people before you go to sleep at night, what are one of the things I always tell you? I tell you that if you have a mirror facing your bed when you go to sleep, what do I tell you? I tell you guys to cover that mirror, right? I tell you guys if you have a TV that's facing your bed when you go to sleep, what do I tell you? I tell you to cover that TV, right? My reason for telling you this is because spirit energies. Give me a second. Let me put it back on. All right. Okay. I tell you this for a reason. When I tell you, before you go to sleep, if you have a mirror facing you, cover it, protect it. Know how to use your protection, right? When it comes to knowing how to activate your scrying mirror, okay? When it comes to facing your shadow self, all right? And then we say clearance, broomstick. So when this broomstick clearance comes out and it shows itself, basically what it is telling you is that in order for your magic power to work, in order for you to call in your spiritual ancestors to the altar, Spirit is saying the time has come for you to do what? Sweep from behind your door and remove some of the clutter and get rid of some of the things that you no longer need, right? Clean up from around you to remove that which you no longer need before you do your readings, right? And like I said, I spoke on the cloak clearance. For those of you who know, know. When the clearance cloak card shows up, and this is not for everybody, this is only for a few, right? But for those who know, know. Some of us have inherited a gift that you was born with. You didn't ask for this gift. You didn't ask to be telepathic. You didn't ask to be clairvoyant. You didn't ask to be an empath. You didn't ask to be a medium. You didn't ask to have vision. You didn't ask to receive these downloads. You didn't ask spirit for none of these things. But as a child, some of you may have started having downloads and visions as a child. Some of you may have become clairvoyant, audiovoyant, telepathic as you got older into your 20s maybe, and you didn't recognize it. You was having dreams, you was having visions. Sometimes you wake up and you go back to sleep and you find yourself falling back into that same dream, whether it's good, whether it's bad. Sometimes you may have nightmares and you don't understand what the nightmares are. Sometimes you have to go back and you have to follow it. You have to see where it's taking you to, right? To get a complete understanding. Sometimes when spirit shows up, you have to know the difference between what is demonic, because sometimes people send you demonic spirits to you, and you need to be aware of these things, right? A lot of times people they use scrying mirrors for the good and some use it for the bad. Some people when they want to contact spirits, some people may use a Ouija board, right? To connect with spirit. I always tell people that's not a good idea. Keep those Ouija boards out of your house, okay? I'm not cool with Ouija boards. I don't use them, okay? A lot of times I don't even like using the scrying mirror, okay? Because I know who I am, right? And yes, I have that power to call upon my spiritual ancestors, because you have this right here that also came out, remembering your ancestors. So when the ancestor card comes out, this is simply telling you that you have a loved one who is around you, maybe perhaps a group of loved ones who are around you to protect you. So therefore, do not be afraid to call upon your ancestors. Okay, and so when it comes to your ancestors, you need to know how to call upon them. You need to know how to protect yourself when it comes to doing your scrying mirror, when it comes to clearancing, using your broomstick, and some other ways how you can protect yourself. Spirit is telling you to drink more water, take cleansing baths, right? Because people could be trying to attack your what? Your throat chakra. So don't be afraid to take cleansing baths. Allow the water to speak to you when it comes to setting your attentions. Some of you may need to wash your hands in Florida water and sea salt. Some of you may need to wash your face. You may need to cover your floors and your doors. Understanding candle magic. Some of you may be able to see my candle right there. Some of you may not. But I have a couple of colored candles in that dish. And so fire magic. Knowing the meaning of colored candles and knowing how to use them when it comes to activating your attentions during candle magic sessions, okay? Some of you may be asking, well, you have any new beginnings coming your way? Yeah, some of you are very close to giving birth toward a new beginning. Others of you may be, or may have been, or you can still be celibate, right? Fertility, incubation, fertility. This is all about being one in one when it comes to your true sexuality, your true identification, your true identity, when it comes to really understanding who you are and knowing who you are and knowing what day is your birthday. Now, for a lot of people, this right here could come about during Taurus season. Some of you may have strong Taurus placements. I know we were going through a Taurus moon, right? I think it was just last night or maybe today the moon was in the sign of Taurus, right? So normally what happens is right around the month of May 1st or on May 1st, these spirit energies that has given birth, it becomes your birthday. And sometimes what happens is in the old fashioned, right, Book of Salem, some people may have heard of Massachusetts, Salem, Massachusetts, where the witches come together, and on May 1st, they come together and they join in hands in a circle, and they lay down, a pile of salt, and they create that pedicle of salt, and they hold hands and they dance around that, them flames, that fire. If you know, you know. If you haven't heard it, then this means this is when the witches come together and they celebrate themselves. So, what does all this mean exactly? When you have the witch's wisdom that's trying to come in and give you a spiritual download, a spiritual message. What does that mean exactly? I have my coffee, all right? So, when the witch's wisdom comes in to bring you a message, it wants you to know that you have the potential. Your potential is endless, okay? When it comes to believing in yourself, when it comes to uh the witch's wisdom, sometimes that message may call for you to unplug and relax for a spell. Sometimes you have to learn how to take a negative and turn it into a positive, right? Because sometimes when these towers come in, towers represent what? Unexpected, uninterrupted, sudden changes, right? Whether it's a good change or a bad change, right? So a lot of times you have to know how to flip this. And you have to know how to create your own spiritual altar of protection. Spirit is saying you have to know how to weave together your own crown. When it comes to taking time to smell the flowers, don't just smell the flowers, but learn what flowers do you need, what plants do you need. This is not just a female feminine energy. This can also be used for my strong masculine male Virgo energies as well. You need to learn what plants can you have around you, right? Often some people may use bamboo plants, right? Some people, they believe in cloves. It's all kind of even snake plants. I love snake plants. You know what I'm saying? I had one that died. I gotta get me another snake plant. I love snake plants, sunflower seeds. I love flowers, so you need to learn the definition of what plants to have around you to help activate, okay? Because some of you have been going through so much BS for quite some time that spirit is saying justice is coming. So the time may come for you to do what? Clean out your closet and get rid of some things that you no longer need. Get rid of things that don't serve you. Like, for example, what are some of those things that don't serve you? Let's talk about it. Because some of you are sleeping with the enemy. Spirit is saying to you, swim away from this situation. Because for some, you have a shark laying beside you, or you are feeding the shark attention. You may have a shark that's calling your phone, texting your phone. Every time you pick up the phone or you respond to the text, the person on the other side is speaking negative. Their way of communicating with you is through negative, dark force energies, demonic spirit. It's an unevenly yoked, one-sided situation because every time you try to have a conversation with this person, you and this person, there's really no spiritual connection there because one of you are light, the other is dark, and because you have already done your shadow work, you are able to detect these darkness around this person. You can pick up on those negative, dark, demonic spirits. You can tell from the way this person is communicating with you. It doesn't take much to learn a person Okay, when you have the conversation, you can tell how a person is, through the way they speak. So, Spirit is telling you to swim away from this situation and to let them go. This is what came out. Let them go because the tree is on fire. You're dealing with a toxic energy around you. Spirit is saying that the time has come for you to have what? Confidence. Comes with time and practice. Knowing who you are, learning how to regain back that confidence, that self esteem, that strength card, knowing how to go within and reflect, especially for my Virgos. Spirit is saying that you can be your own knight, shining armor. So when it comes to what it is you are going through, Spirit is saying take control of your own narrative. Write your own story. Don't let others try to write it for you. Because often people who claim to know you, people who are related to you, oftentimes, sometimes, your family members can be your own worstest nightmare, your own worstest enemy. Because often, some family members, not all, but most, will do what? They will constantly bring up your past and they will constantly throw your past up in your face. And they will constantly remind you of your past and when you used to do this and when you used to do that and this is what happened to you. And because this is what happened to you, you never go amount to being nothing. Look at you, look at you, look at you. You don't have nothing to show for. You don't have any money in the bank. You know what I'm saying? You're not on a capital. You have no investments on Wall Street or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I wanted you to be a doctor, lawyer, a judge, and that didn't happen. And so a lot of times you can't even turn to your family to ask them for help because they do what? They reject you and they abandon you and they make you feel worthless. And then you have people from maybe your past when you was young or a bit naive, right? Because we all been there. We all used to once upon a time. We all been young, dumb, and naive. We all made some stupid mistakes and some dumb decisions, right? We got ourselves caught up with people, places, and things that we probably perhaps didn't have no business getting caught up with. And we made our bed hard and we laid in it, right? So now we're paying the consequences for it, right? And so often when fake friends become enemies, and family members who claim are supposed to love you, your closest, turns around and stab you, and you feel rejected or abandoned, and you start having these abandonment issues. It causes you to suffer with low self-esteem. And so then you have to, sometimes we go through rock bottom and we're faced with this crisis and we're going through these hard times and we are having to make do with what little bit we have. It may not be much, but we have to make do with what little bit we have. And we have to pull ourselves up by our own bootstraps and start all over again from scratch. So Spirit is saying to you, light a match. Yeah, it says bitch fire, light a match. Stand up for yourself. Don't continue to tolerate this behavior from others who don't mean you no good. Because often we have to be careful who you let cross your threshold. You can't open your door for everybody and let people in because we have all made some mistakes where we open the door and we let somebody in. And that's why they tell you be careful when it comes to giving out your address or be careful when it comes to giving out your phone number. Hold on one second, you guys, because I need to blow out my candles. These are my colored candles. When I do some of my rituals, as you can see, this is my glass of rice. And I place my colored candles in my rice, right? And so those colored candles are burning down. So I'm getting ready to blow them out now. so that it doesn't burn the rice. Okay. And so I'm gonna sit this here, let that cool off, and then once that cools off, I will remove those candles from that burnt, from doing what it just did, all right? Because I had to light a match, all right? I had to light a match, all right? And so as I was saying, it's 11:12, so 11:11. That was a good message. Okay, so being careful when it comes to who you give your address to, who you give your phone number to, because often when you give out your address and you share your address with someone and they come to your home and you let them in, and these people that come in, they cross your threshold and they got all this demonic dark energies on them. And the next thing you know, it's true what grandma used to say. You ever heard your grandma tell you to be careful who you let in? Because anytime you open the door for one devil, that one devil brings in what? 12 more devils with them? Have your grandmother ever said something like that to you, for those of you who are old school like myself? And so you have to be careful, because what happens is when those demonic spirits come in, they quickly latch on to you, right? And you can't get rid of them. It's like tug of war. And what happens is when this dark energy comes in and you allow it to lay beside you and you allow it and you become intimate and you reach a climax. In that climax, you come together when you reach that orgasm and the both of you are sharing this multiple orgasm and you have become one with this person, right? In a physical sense, a sexual sense. Some people might say, oh, twin flame. No, that's not a twin flame. That's a karmic tie. Okay. And sometimes it's hard as hell to unbond and unattach yourself from that energy. And sometimes when it's hard to get rid of that person, and now this person knows your address, what happens? They become obsessive, right? They might leave, but they know your address. So what happens? They become obsessive and they start stalking you, right? They start parking in front of your house, behind your house, around the corner, around the block, start doing drive-throughs, looking to see who's pulling up, looking to see when to park, right? Or they may come and start banging on your door real loud. You can't get rid of them, trying to create a scene. Start arguing, making noise, threatening to bust out your window and all that, right? Demonic energies. You have to be careful who you give your phone number to, you know? Because some people try to do what? They'll try to trace your phone number back through Google and all that crap, right? This is why I always tell people, when you're using your phone, turn your GPS off, right? If you don't need it, turn it off, right? And if you are out in public, be careful when you're using your phone and you're standing up. You know what I'm saying? Don't let people, especially if you travel by public transportation, train, bus, or whatever the case may be aware of your surroundings when it comes to people who sit behind you, in front of you, because I have seen on multiple occasions when somebody is sitting behind somebody and they are looking dead at your phone. They are looking to see and see when your GPS is on and people are able to look down at your phone. um your Wi-Fi is on. Some people have a way to tap in. They have a way to tap in because that Wi-Fi is open for everybody, right? So they have a way to tap in, and some people are good at technology, right? They know how to go in. Well, they're standing behind you and you're not aware. They're standing behind you and they're looking at your text message. They look at the top of your phone. They want to see what phone numbers is coming in at you. You have to be careful with that, okay? That's the demonic energy, those demonic spirits that try to pull in. It's just like I was hearing something the other day, and the message that came in was, be careful who you give your information to, because if you didn't call them and they called you, robot calls, right? Scam calls, when people call your phone, you know what I'm saying, trying to get information, you have to be careful with that energy, right? You have to know how to block it, right? Because often people will scam call you and block call you 20 times a day if you don't know how to get rid of it. And sometimes you may have to act like the police yourself, a lawyer, threaten them, right? So that's all about knowing how to protect yourself, because some of you may need to create a mural, okay? Be your own first priority. Protect your energy, protect your aura. Sometimes you have to learn how to put you first, right? Even sometimes when you got people who look for you and they be like, where have you been? I miss you, I haven't seen you, and sometimes it's just like even when I do private readings, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I have to set a bedtime for myself and a nap time for myself. I have to take a break. I have to do my cleansing. I have to do my Reiki healing, my meditation. I have to do all that, right? So every time before I do a reading, I go into a deep spiritual meditating state and I do my cleansing because I have to cleanse my altar, I have to cleanse my energy, my aura, I have to make sure I'm in a good place, before I come up here. So when it comes to setting your own priority, your own mirror writing, I have a chalkboard that I use. Sometimes you can take a chalkboard or even a notebook if you don't have a chalkboard. Use a notebook, right? And write down some things. Even if you are feeling bad, right? And you at your most lowest, right? It's just like there was a time when I was ready to throw on the towel and I started having these crazy thoughts, right? So I took those thoughts and I wrote them down and I put them, in a sacred place. And I did that for a reason so that as time moved forward and things began to change and progress, I can go back and look at that, right? I call that shadow work when I do my step work. I can go back to that date because I got the day down. I wrote the day, the date, the time, right? And I put down how I was feeling, right? So when I was at my deepest, darkest, and lowest period in my life, I put it down so that I can go back and look at this and be like, wow, I can't believe that this is where I was at mind wise. And that shows you your growth. That's a part of your step work, right? So even when you're feeling bad, write it down. Get it out your system. Don't hold on to it. Release it, okay? Sometimes you may have to strike a match and light a candle, and you may have to write down your most deepest, darkest, I don't feel good. I'm feeling this way right here because something is spiritually attacking me. I'm ready to give up and throw on the towel because I feel like I don't have nobody. I'm all alone, God. What can I do, Lord? I'm ready to meet my maker. I don't want to be here on earth no more. Write it down. Get it out your system, right? Because I may be feeling a certain way and I might sit down and the devil, understand the devil is there because there's two masters, okay? You got this devil energy that's sitting beside you, and then you got the heavenly father and your guardian angels of protection sitting on the other side, right? So even though you're sitting here and you're in this low self-esteem, right? You are covered by your protection angels, okay? Even though you got these demonic energies around you, right? And these demonic energies is poisoning your brain. They're telling you what to say, how to feel. Okay, this is how you feel? All right, then we're going to help you. We're going to help you delete yourself, right? If you know yourself, it's just like, I could be in my lowest, deepest, darkest and be like, well, I don't want to be here no more. I'm just tired. I'm ready to give up and all of that and the third. But anybody who knows me, okay? I have a fear of heights. I'm not jumping off no buildings and I ain't jumping out no damn windows. I have a fear of, big ass bridges. I ain't jumping off no damn bridges. I ain't leaping off no bridges. And I sure as hell ain't gonna cut myself, okay? I'm afraid of needles. I don't have no tattoos because I'm afraid of needles, alright? I don't smoke, I don't get high, I don't do no drugs. So you ain't never gotta worry about me ODing. I sure as hell ain't gonna pop no pills because I don't like feeling nauseated. Now, once upon a time when I was in my 20s, early 30s, and I was going through domestic violence, I OD'd because I took some pills, okay? And I did some other things with those pills. And I tried to delete myself, and it did feel good. I was sick for a long time behind that because I couldn't take it. But that was the experience that I needed to go through. You know what I'm saying? I needed to pop those pills. I needed to, mix them pills with some other chemical substance that I didn't have no business doing. But I was trying to delete myself. It wasn't a good feeling because, yes, that dark shadow was right there lurking over me, saying to me, this is what you want. This is what you asked for. So I'm giving you what you asked for. It didn't feel good because the Lord kept me here. Okay, me having, to go get my stomach pumped out and you know what I'm saying, and damn near being in a coma and all that. That didn't feel good. So I learned that the hard way. You know what I'm saying? So I said never again, and I didn't, right? So I share this story with you because you have to know the difference when it comes to your fears and your shadow work, right? You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, no, I'm not going to stab myself. I used to own a gun. I got rid of the gun for two reasons. I didn't want to go to prison. I didn't want to go to jail for harming somebody else because there was a time in my life when I was trigger happy. And I didn't want to have to do that. And I didn't want to have to worry about turning that weapon on myself. You understand what I'm saying? And deleting myself. So I got rid of that. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to delete myself in that, you know what I'm saying, in that form. I wouldn't do that. When I cross the street, I'm not going to jump onto the middle of oncoming traffic, right? You understand what I'm saying? So I ain't going to jump in no ocean, no lake, no pool, none of that shit, right? So it's like, okay, I've been tested, you know what I'm saying? Often, a lot of us, we are tested daily, right? And this is the reason why I used to be an alcoholic. I used to drink strong liquor, heavy, heavy as hell. You know what I'm saying? I used to drink alcohol, liquor, morning, noon, night, pop pills. I was there, been there, done that, did that, went through that. You understand what I'm saying? And I had to learn how to save myself because wasn't nobody else going to save me. You know what I'm saying? I was born in this world alone. We going to leave here alone, right? But you don't have to leave here in that manner. So I had to learn how to save myself. And this is why today, alcohol free. You know what I'm saying? Don't drink, don't get high, don't smoke, don't hang out, don't club, none of that, right? I don't open my door. I don't invite people in to cross my threshold. I don't give up my address. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I learned the hard way. So I had to cut a lot of things off for my own sake. You understand what I'm saying? When it comes to protecting yourself, you have to be aware who you let in. Don't invite these people, these energies to your home. Don't give out your address. Don't give out your phone number. Don't sleep with the enemy because you don't know what that person has on them. Especially if you and this person is not, because even when you're married, your husband and your wife, you know what I'm saying? Spouses cheat. Not everybody, but most of them do. And so you have to be careful because when you step outside that relationship, you come back together after stepping outside and you bring those energies back in with you. And those energies are real because they will latch on. And when your person goes out and cheat, and the person who they cheated with is aware that they are with you, what do you think that person that they cheated with is going to do? That person who they cheated with is going to do what? Use black magic. And they're going to try to hex them. And they're going to try to put all this BS on them. And then when they do it and your person's not aware that they got this spell on them, what happens? They come back into the house and they get back in your bed. And then that spell work latches on to you, and now you got this deep, dark, demonic spirit in your home that's causing a whole lot of negative energy, a whole lot of arguments, right? He say, she say, that's how it often begins. Sometimes you have to be careful when it comes to your kids, your teenage kids, if you got adult kids living with you, right? Some of us are mothers, right? Fathers, and you may have a daughter or son that could be, in their teen years, 18, 16, 18, 19, 20, 21. You remember what it was like when you were 16, right? And you couldn't wait when you turned 16 because you thought you were the shit, right? And then what happens when you 16 and you and your parent get into it? Well, I can't wait till I turn 18. Right? And then when your child turn 18, what happens? You get into that argument with your parent and you be like, well, I'm 18. You can't tell me what to do, right? And then what do? You be like, well, you still a minor. You're living in my house, right? Then when they turn 21, what do? Well, I'm 21. I'm legally grown. You can't tell me shit, right? But they living in your house and they disrespecting you, right? And then when you put your foot down and you let that child know, yeah, you legal, you 21, so that means I got the right to whip your ass. So if you call the police, it ain't gonna be much the police can do. I went through that already, trust me. You know what I'm saying? It's like when the law come, they call the police. When your child be like, well, I'll call 911 on you. Okay, call now. Matter of fact, let me call 911. Let me call the police. I've been through that. Trust me, I have. I know. And the police come and show up, and I told the police come. Man, what's going on? We got a call for disturbance. You know what I'm saying? And then the police shows up, and I'm like, officer, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? Number one, this is my crib. You understand? Two, that's my child. Three, she's not, well, he not, and not a child no more. Four, they either 18 or 21, 21 and not a minor. So therefore, if they're gonna disrespect me or disobey me in my house, guess what, officer? You can either take them with you, okay, and I can file a restraining order. You can pack a bag, do whatever you want to do. They can go with you, or they can get on the phone and call a friend, come have somebody pick them up, or they can get in their own shit and go ahead on about their business, right? And the officer told, my kids just that. Okay, well, look, your mom is right. You can't be in your mother's house disrespecting her, disobeying her rules, talking shit to her. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna break that. So if you got a problem, get your shit and go. And that's what my kid did. You know what I'm saying? They called their friends or whatever, and they got their shit and they left. You know what I'm saying? We go through that as a parent, right? There's different stages. You understand what I'm saying? Shit, it was a time when I came home and my children was talking shit, and I came home from work, a third shift, and I come home from work, and they done had a get together at my house, and I come home and there's clothes all in my living room. I got two sinks full of dirty dishes. I got trash all in my fucking kitchen. You know what I'm saying? They ate all my fucking food out my refrigerator. I went the fuck off. I came home. I was like, okay. I was like, this what we doing? And everybody was in my kids' room, and they was all asleep, right? And my kids is like, what, 19, 21, or some shit like that, right? And everybody's in the room knocked out sleeping. My house is fucked up when I put the key in the door and I come in the door. So you know what I did? Because I'm a little hood. I'm a lady, but I'm a little hood. You know what I'm saying? I come from New York City. You feel me? East Bronx, born and raised. So that city kicked in immediately. So when I came home and my shit was fucked up and everybody's in the room knocked out asleep and ain't nobody cleaned up, and trash is built up all over the place. What the, dishes, what? You know, food, what? What the hell? So I exploded and I went from 0 to 3,000 real quick. And all of a sudden, I started taking all those dirty dishes out of my sink and I started breaking them shits. I started slamming plates. You know what I'm saying? I started busting glasses and shit. Took all the silverware. I started throwing that shit out the door. I started busting that shit all around my house, right? I took the pots and the pans and I threw that shit out. I was swinging shit. Everybody jumped the fuck up and like, oh shit, what's going on? And I told my kids, since y'all want to leave the dishes in my sink, you gonna have to eat out your motherfucking hands. And since you want to eat me out of house and home, and you niggas is grown, you want to provide your own meal, cause I ain't buying shit and I ain't cooking shit. You understand what I'm saying? And you ain't allowed to bring no dishes and pots and pans in my home. So now I done got rid of every motherfucking silverware, dish, pot, pan, this motherfucker right here. Them clothes that's in my living room, I just tossed that shit out to the street. Your friends get the fuck up and get the fuck out. Everybody bounce. You know what I'm saying? Police came to my crib like, yo, what's good? I told the officer, everybody gotta go. That's what's good. And that's what happened. You feel me? So I had to handle the situation. So that's why I said sometimes we go through that, right? And that's why spirit tells you that when we go through these scenarios, right? Spirit tells you to do what? Remember to practice self love and take a moment for yourself, right? And don't doubt your self worth, okay? When it comes to knowing that you are enough, and that when it comes to expectations, don't seek anybody's approval. Just be yourself and do what you got to do to survive. You understand what I'm saying? So, trust me, I have been there. Okay, I know what it's like to have family members turn their back on you and not give a fuck about you. I know what it's like to be a parent and go through those different levels. Cause I'm a mother of five. I got 4 daughters and one son, and my son is in the middle. Thank God everybody's grown. Once upon a time, been there, done that, and did that. All right, because my baby is 29. My son is like 31. I have a daughter 35. I have another daughter 33. So and I'm a grandmother. I got 9 grandkids, and I got one grandbaby on the way. So I'm getting ready to have my 10th grandchild. You feel me? So trust me, I done been there, right? I got what, 3 teenage grandkids? You know what I'm saying? I have a grandson that's gonna be 18, one 16. I have a granddaughter 14. So I got three teenage grandkids. You feel me? And they damn near grown now. The oldest one 18. I said, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Won't be long for little man is 21, and the other one is 19, and you know what I mean? So, and all my kids is married now. Everybody's grown. That's a beautiful thing, right? When everybody's grown up and they married, you know what I'm saying? It's good. It's good. And I've been married before. I've been married twice. You know what I'm saying? Got married young, took on responsibility at a young age. I was young, dumb, naive, crazy motherfucker. And this is why I have been celibate now and single, okay? Happily single and celibate, happily divorced. Knock on motherfucking wood. Because I spent almost 31 years of my life as a motherfucking wife. Spent most of that through our separation. You understand what I'm saying? So, I know what it's like when you get married young and dumb, even when you're adult and you make those mistakes and you marry the wrong person and you haven't done no step work and no shadow work with yourself and you get yourself caught up in this demonic ass relationship situation and this shit just becomes toxic, right? I know what it's like to have that marital affair, have your person go out and cheat and then you don't give a fuck since they cheating and then you go out and you cheat and you find somebody and you find yourself fucking somebody who's married and this person and y'all done caught feelings for one another and now this person got to go back home to their significant other. You got to come back home to your significant other. Your significant other got to come back home to you. And so now you're in a situation that involves four people. You understand what I'm saying? I've been there. Trust me. And the sex is good. And then you get with this person who you don't open yourself up so much that this person knows how to sexually stimulate you and satisfy you. And they do a better job than your spouse, right? And then you start hating your spouse because you and your spouse already got this sexual tension, this aggressive attitude where now you hate each other. You can't stand the sight of each other. You just wish this motherfucker would get out you, just leave. You know what I'm saying? Me and my last ex, we was in the house for like a whole year. He slept in the living room, I slept in my room, right? And he was cheating on me and it got to the point where I was overwhelmed and I said fuck it. I started seeing somebody else and I hated my husband. I wanted him to get the fuck out and leave, but you can't put a man or a woman out of their own house when you're married and you become one, because what's yours is theirs and what's theirs is yours, right? So even if you try to call the police, you still ain't gonna be able to get rid of them unless they put their hands on you, and then a smack in the face is just $65 on the bond. You know what I'm saying? It's $15 per every 100. So assault charge, you can go to the magistrate office, and if you punch somebody in the face, that's 15 per every 100. So you paying a little bit of money for nothing, right? I think it's like $60, $65. You go to the magistrate office, you pay that, and then you go back home. Trust me, I done called my ex-husband a couple of times. The same police that came and arrested him, 10 minutes later, that same police brought the motherfucker back to the house. And I thought he was getting ready to go to jail for 30 days, 45 days. Now, I have had a situation where I had my ex locked up, you know what I'm saying? And he might have did the first 24, 48, 72 hours, right? And then the second charge, they gave, 30 days? Third charge, 45 days, right? Fourth charge, 60 days. Then they go away for 3 months, and then 6 months. And then around that seven charge is like a year, right? You understand what I'm saying? Because I was always putting my eyes go crazy. I was constantly sending the motherfucker back to jail because that was giving my break time. You know what I mean? Okay, motherfucker, you getting on my nerves now. Let me call the police. Let me get you locked the fuck up. I need a break. You know what I'm saying? Let me have a little bit of fun while you locked the fuck up. You feel me? So I've been there. I know what that's like. And that's why I'm proud to be single now, because I ain't got time to be going through that bullshit. What's up, Porsche girl? How you doing? So I share these stories to let hey, I've been there, I've done that, I did that, I've outgrown that, I've learned, I graduated from the bullshit. Now I'm a grown woman, knocking on 55. You feel me? So, I share those lessons with you to let you know that it's important for you to know who you are, because when you got somebody around you and they become a distraction for you, what happens is that distraction, it kidnaps your gift and it pulls you away from your altar. It stops you from becoming the person that you are supposed to become, right? Because this distraction, it blocks you. Like if you're a YouTube reader, but you're in this situation and you having to put forth the effort to make this situation that you in work. So when two people come together or they're getting to know and y'all start calling each other, y'all start texting each other, then you want to start making plans to see each other and spend time for each other. You got to make time for you and that person. That person has to make time for you and them, right? Then you got to make time between work. Okay, well, I have a full-time job. I got to get up and go to work. I got to pay the bills. I got to do this. I got to do that. They got to do the same thing. Make plans to come together. And then you start catching feelings. You want to come together, spend a lot of time together. And the whole while, you're pulling yourself away from what it is you're supposed to be doing. So it's like if you're a YouTube reader and you know you read tarot cards and you got people who you have to, come here and sit down with and do these readings with, but all of a sudden you find yourself slipping back and you're not doing those readings no more, right? You're not speaking to the people, you're not delivering the message, you're not being there for others, and you're not doing your spiritual work, you're not writing down, you're not doing your shadow work, right? You're not praying no more. You ain't doing your Reiki healing. You ain't cleansing, you ain't doing your water cleansing, you're not taking your vitamins, you ain't exercising, you're not eating that fruit that you need, you're not reading the Bible no more because you got this person in your life who's a distraction. So that's why you got to be careful when you come together with this other person. And that's why I always tell people to always know a person's true intentions toward you and to make sure that you and this person are really evenly yoked to be together. And so sometimes you have to find somebody who's just like yourself, who has those same spiritual gifts. You know what I'm saying? I think it's beautiful when I see two people come together and I see this wife and his husband, and the husband knows how to read tarot cards, the wife knows how to read tarot cards, the wife knows how to preach and deliver a message, the husband knows how to preach and deliver a message. It's just like when you go to church and you're married and you're the first, you're the pastor's wife, right? Or the bishop's wife, right? And the two of you come together and you're building together, you're climbing together, and you're saving together, and you're investing together, you're cleansing together. That's a beautiful thing. That's how you know when you and this person belong together. You understand what I'm saying? And so it's like, if you know that once upon a time, like myself, like I just shared with you, I used to be an alcoholic, right? So that means if this is the mistake I made in my past, I don't want nobody coming into my life who's an alcoholic. If I know I had thoughts of wanting to delete myself, I can't have nobody that suffers with low self-esteem around me, right? If I know I used to pop pills, I don't want nobody around me who pop pills, right? If I used to smoke weed, I don't want nobody around me who smokes weed, right? Because I bust my ass and it took me a long time to cleanse myself and free myself from hanging out, going to the club and getting high and drinking and smoking weed, you know what I'm saying? And drinking liquor and all that shit. I had to break free from myself. And that's why when I became spiritually celibate, knock on wood, I've been celibate now almost 8 fucking years. Spiritually cleansed, celibate. Now, do I have sex toys? I got a whole box of sex toys, because a few years ago I had never had sex toys. And I was like, well, damn, because I'm still human, right? We're still human. We're still flesh and blood, although we don't live in the flesh, we live in the spirit now, right? But you're still human. You bleed. You got blood in your body, right? So therefore, you're going to have those sexual urges, right? So what do you do for those sexual urges? I have a little bullet vibrator that does the job because I have a whole bunch of dildos and vibrators and I don't need none of that shit. That's why that shit is sitting in the box right now because I used to think that it was important, right? Because once upon a time when I started my celibacy journey, it was hard as a mug. You know what I'm saying? Because I was used to being straight up sexually stimulated and satisfied, and I know what it took to rock my world, right? So when I didn't have that to rock my world, I started missing those 9 to 10 inches. You feel me? And therefore, I had to go and I had to order me a toy. I had to go online. I had to order me a vibrator that was 9, 10 inches, right? And then when I got it, I was like, what the hell do I look like using this motherfucking vibrator? I mean, it was cute. Don't get me wrong. They cute. They nice. They tempting. You know what I'm saying? It's good to have. But then the same thing that 9, 10 inches was doing, I discovered that little bullet can do the same shit. So I put those dildos and vibrators in the box, taped it up, put that shit away. But I do keep my little cute bullet right in my drawer. I have a few of those, okay, because they work real good. You know what I'm saying? So even though I'm spiritually celibate, but when I'm human, so when I have those urges, I take care of that and I get that out the way and I'm brand new all over again. You feel me? So that's a part of my healing journey of me having to survive being a single woman. Because it's not easy, but when you know your worth, you know what to look for, you know what you're not going to settle for, you know what you're not going to put up with, and when you're on this spiritual path, this spiritual journey, you learn how to protect yourself, right? You learn how to protect your front door, your back door, your windows, so you know what you're not gonna let in. And so when people come to you and entice you and try to tempt you, that shit's gonna fall to the wayside because you're not interested. That shit don't even turn you on no more. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't give a fuck how fine you look, what kind of car you drive, how good you smell. I'm not impressed. Yeah, that's good to have those, okay, cool. But I'm not impressed. Because I'm not looking at your clothes. I'm not looking at your smile. I'm not looking at none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because my thing is, I need somebody who's on the same spiritual journey as myself. So, number one, are you spiritual? Number two, are you cleansed? Number three, are you celibate? You know what I'm saying? Are you alcohol, drug free? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't get high. I don't get down. I don't hang out. I don't do the club. So if you out there in the street and you do the club, we not meant to be together. You know what I'm saying? If you smoking and you getting high, we not meant to be together. If you're alcoholic, we not meant to be together. If you a liar, we not meant to. If you steal, you cheat, we not meant to be together. Point blank. If you out there hoe hopping around and you bumping and you hitting this, that, and we not meant to be together. You feel me? So you have to know you. You know, it said you stopped drinking since February. Yeah, you know what I mean. So I had to like really seriously, like I don't drink liquor no more. I don't drink beer no more. Every now and then, y'all know I'm gonna keep my bottle of wine though. I'm gonna keep that shit 1,000. I keep one bottle of red wine in the fridge and one bottle of white wine. Okay, I gotta have a little something, something. I mean, my red wine and my white wine, that's gonna stay. Okay, we ain't gonna get rid of every motherfucking thing. I can get rid of everything else out the window. I don't, got rid of all that bullshit. But my red wine, my white wine, and my coffee and my tea, my coffee and my tea gonna stay put. Like I told the doctor. The doctor said you can't handle caffeine. I told the doctor, look at here, I'm gonna have caffeine or I'm gonna be snapping. So I'm gonna keep my caffeine where I got it, and I'm gonna keep my wine where I got it. I can let go of liquor. I can let go of liquor because I ain't trying to fuck up my kidney and my liver, so I can cut liquor loose. Okay, I don't want to have a beer belly. I can cut beer loose. Okay, cool. I don't want no STDs and no sexual transmitted disease. I don't want no HIV/AIDS, so I can cut sex off. Cool. I don't want nobody stalking me, being showing up in my window, doing drive-bys and all that shit, so I can be single. Cool. I don't want no demonic spirits and hexes and black magic. I can be by myself. Cool. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at shit. You feel me? So that's my whole purpose of coming here, you guys, and giving you guys this here message, okay, when it comes to shadow, clearance, and concealment. That's what we titled this reading, right? So that's why I said if you feel led here for this message, then that means that this message was meant for you to receive it, right? Knowing how to break the cycle, break the chain, remove that unevenly one-sided situation, that unevenly yoke, knowing how to detach yourself from that, all right? So with that being said, you guys, I'm gonna get on and upload this. You know what I'm saying? Thank you guys, tuned in. Those that's in the background, you not in the chats, but you are observing, you watching. Shout out to you guys, because a lot of times when I log off, that's when I be seeing all these numbers of people that's what's tuned in. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, we might got what 15 people in the chats, but then when I log off, that's when I be seeing like 80, 100 people. I be like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, okay, that's what's up. Cool, cool, cool. Appreciate it, right? So I'm gonna get on and upload this, but I hope you guys who are tuned in right now, I hope you was able to receive a message from this, okay? And so, and understand that, you know, it takes two, right? And like your mom always tell you, mind your business, don't go out here starting no trouble, don't look for shit, right? Know your worth, people. You understand what I'm saying? Don't be afraid to do your shadow work. And one more important thing, don't judge people. Just because somebody has less than you, don't make them less than you. You know what I'm saying? Just because this person uh is living with less, you could live in a big house, drive a fancy car, live in a mansion, you could be happily married or whatever the case may be. But I've seen a lot of people who have two people who are supposed to be coming together as one who's supposed to be married who live in this fancy house and they hate each other and can't stand each other and they cheating on each other and the husband's an alcoholic and a drug addict or the wifey's a drug addict and she's sleeping around. So don't let you looking in from out and you seeing what other people got and you telling yourself, I wish I can have that. I wish I was like them. Be careful with what it is you asking for because you don't know what these two people got going on behind closed doors. Everything that look good ain't man, ain't good for you. Just because this person look good and they putting on this facade because they are hiding what's going on behind closed doors and they don't want people in their business. Sometimes people are good at putting on. Trust me, I've been there, done it, I did that. I used to be married. I spent a lot of years married, and I had a fucked up marriage. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people knew that my shit behind closed doors was fucked up, and when we came outside, I put that facade on, act like me and my friend, I put on that show, acting like I was happy as hell. Like, bitch, you not gonna get my man. I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna run with this. But then when I got tired of motherfucker, I was going out looking for bitches for this nigga to hook up and get with. And then when he did go out and cheat, I was like, well, goddamn, let me get rid of you, put you to the road, and hope, and somebody did. They can't pick them a trash. Okay, you want to do whatever y'all got going on, God bless you. You feel like you could change a nigga, change him. I ain't worried about that. You know what I'm saying? I went through that scenario, the girl from blowing on my phone while I'm fucking your man now, this, that, and the third. I didn't mean to fall in love with your man. Bitch, be happy. Don't call me. But at the same time, she was calling me, telling me how she didn't mean to fall in love with my man, and she, and all this, that, and the third, and she was happy. A week later, the bitch called my phone telling me the nigga punching her in the eye. Can you please come get this motherfucker out of the house? And I told that bitch I don't take returns. You know what I'm saying? Bitch, ain't no refunds over here, right? You came, you picked up the trash. I put the motherfucker outside. You thought you was cute. You pulled up. You took him in your crib. Now he fucking you up, and now you want me to come pull? No, bitch. You good? I'm good. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Y'all work that shit out. I'm gonna need you to hold on to that for a minute. You know what I'm saying? So I can work on me. So yeah, you got him. Y'all make that shit work, my baby. Okay? I'm doing me now. Okay? No, no, no static, bitch. I ain't calling you. I don't give a fuck. I ain't pulling up. I don't give a damn. You got him. That's all you. You know? So yeah, Virgs. I know got a lot of Virgos here. Yeah, this is an open general conversation, no doubt about it. Cross watches, whatever, whoever tuned in. But I share that with you. You know what I'm saying? Don't let distractions, don't let what somebody else does stop you from doing what it is you're supposed to do for you. You feel me? Don't worry about what this person is doing. And if you can't take the heat, get out the kitchen. If you feel like the person who you are laying beside is cheating on you and you know they cheating on you, sometimes you may have to pull up and pack your shit and be like, you know what, I'm out of here. You may have to save your ducks, get your duck in the row, start making plans on how you're going to maneuver and break free your damn self. You may have to move. You may have to do a lease. And especially if you're going through a little domestic situation, then you could use that domestic situation to help relieve that shit too. Like, 'cause there was a time when I was going through some shit, right? So long as you got a restraining order, you go to the doctor, get checked. You can go to a shelter for a couple of days. Once you get that, okay, I'm in the shelter, I got a doctor's note, I got a police report. You could take that to your landlord and be like, look, this is what I'm going through, and I'm sorry I didn't mean to break my lease, but unfortunately, because of my situation, the landlord will respect that, and you will be allowed to break your lease and move, okay? I've been in that situation too. So give you a little, a little maneuver, show you what to do. Like I said, sometimes you might have to pack your shit up and bounce, you know what I'm saying? And leave him where you are. I didn't think I was gonna leave my house, but then I got tired of crazy motherfucker, even though he had a new bitch. Motherfucker knew he didn't live far from me, so he would still pull up, do ride by. Sometimes I had that bitch in the car, and he would ride by and want to start shit. Even when we weren't together, we were legally separated, legally married, but nigga, you still wilding out. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, my nigga, you good. You supposed to have a bitch in your life. And it got to the point where I got tired of this motherfucker pulling up, feeling like because we were still legally married, he can pull up, use the kids' excuse or whatever the case may be. Come with the dog. You know what I'm saying? Come to see the dog. Or we come with whatever. And it got to the point where I had to pack all my shit and I had to move just to stop seeing this motherfucker. And I had to move away. I had to go like 2, 3 hours just to get the fuck away from this nigga. You feel me? So I've been there, done that, I did that. I'm good being by myself now. I'm good. It's not that I don't want to be in a relationship. I'm cool with being in a relationship too. But in order for me to be in a relationship, I need somebody that's real. Because I know me. I'm straight to the point. You know what I'm saying? I don't beat around the bush. So when push comes to shove, it's either you gonna get out my face, cause I'm not trying to argue with you. I don't want to go to prison, but nigga, if if you elite and you feeling froggy, I'm gonna have to nip that situation in the bud. You know what I'm saying? Cause I got rid of the heat, but don't give me a reason to go grab the heat because I'm good with that. I told y'all my past history, okay? I used to be trigger happy. So, I tell people don't, let's not go that route. Let's keep the peace and let's be beautiful. Let's seek solitude. Let's take a negative and change it into a positive. Everybody be happy, be at peace, right? Put God first in your life. Get rid of all the toxic negative energy from around you. Cleanse your aura, cleanse your space. And so I hope that this message is working. I hope people, whoever need to receive this message, I hope you receive it. You feel me? All right, you guys, I'm getting ready to let you go. As always, one love, peace, God bless, be safe, stay motivated, stay prayed up, stay cleansed. You feel me? I'm out.